Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Oh, sorry guys. Hey, this is Christian Nation, and today I'm going to be talking about sex. Oh yes, sex, that big taboo that everyone tells us not to do because it's naughty. And I'm going to be answering questions like, what's my sexual preference? Do I have sex? What is this thing we call sex? Okay, first off, I would like to say, I used to be a total nympho. I would, jump at the opportunity to have sex with anybody. And I realized later that I was looking for something that I thought I could find through sex, like emotional connection or some sense of fulfillment. But then later on I realized that that was a bunch of bullshit. But just about a year ago, a little over a year ago, I actually had to stop having intercourse because of this medical issue where, like, my down there parts would just ache and burn every time I tried to have sex. I went to several doctors. I had all these tests. They checked for STDs. They checked for everything. They told me that I was perfectly healthy and that my pain was just psychosomatic and due to some sort of trauma or something, which was a load of BS. So for a really long time I was trying to pinpoint anything that it could possibly be. And just recently I finally found out what it was. It's this thing that has a big, long, scary name that's hard to pronounce. But basically, to sum it up, it's like the vaginal version of fibromyalgia, where you have a bunch of overactive nerves in your down there parts that cause you a lot of pain, you know, burning, aching, when anything is inserted, or even when the area is touched. The thing about it is, everything looks perfectly normal. It looks like you have no problem. It looks like you have a very perfect, healthy vagina, when actually you have a true underlying problem. But doctors just blow it off because, you know, doctors think if there's nothing visible, there's nothing wrong. So I haven't had sex or sexual intercourse in over a year. And am I upset about that? Nope. Which gets me to my next place. What is Christian Nation's sexuality? What's his sexual orientation? I would say I am pan-romantic. I would say that I am emotionally attracted to all genders, male, female, transgender, intersex, whatever you are. If I care about you, I care about you. But what am I sexually? I would say I wouldn't call myself asexual. I do get off on stimulation, like I masturbate, I do all those normal things, and I get off on it. I don't just, like, not want sex. It's just, there's things about sex that I just find tedious and gross, and I just don't do them. And I mean, I'm definitely into foreplay and, you know, like stuff like that. Like I do all of that, but I just don't have sex. Like, I just think sex is weird, and which is really strange coming from someone who used to be an nympho. Because I totally used to be a sex addict, but I never really liked sex. I would just do it because I thought that having sex would make people like me more, which sadly is true, unless you find the right person who loves you for who you are, which is really, really good. But I've just realized I'm not a sex person. Like, I mean, I'm into fetishes, I'm into foreplay, you know. I'm a very kinky person, as you probably could tell if you've watched any of my other videos, but I'm just not into your basic workings of sex, like the typical things that people do in relationships. I'm just not into. And it took me a really long time to realize that, because I actually had this problem in my last relationship. My ex found one of my journals, and he read about all my sexual escapades, and he said, "Oh, you were describing these things as if they were amazing experiences. Why aren't you like that with me?" And I basically told him, I'm like, at the time, I lied to myself to make myself feel better about what I was doing, but I don't actually like sex. I mean, I like stimulation, I like sexual stimulation, but I don't like those basic things that you would think of about sex. It just freaks me out and makes me feel weird. And so yeah, probably not what you were gonna expect. Someone as weird as me not being into sex. But I'm not. I mean, like, I'm not into your basic sexual things. Like, I just feel weird about it. Sex makes me feel awkward. And even talking about this so openly on the internet, where anyone in the entire world can see it, that makes me feel a little awkward too. But what else is YouTube for? Seriously. But yeah, I'm not a sexual person. I'm a sensual person. That's the word that I've been looking for. I'm sensual. I'm into sensation. I'm into like feeling, like I'm into certain feeling, like stimulation I get from like pain or sensory input, but I'm not into like standard romantic penis goes in vagina, mouth goes on parts kind of sex. It just weirds me out. And I don't really get anything from it. So yeah, that's Christian Nation's sex life. There you go. Bye.